welcome to another unboxing video from theplayersaid.com. My name's Alexander, and today we're taking a look at a brand new game from Legion Wargames. And this is Volume 1 of their Decisive Victory 1918 series. And this is Soissons, July 18th through 23rd. So obviously this is a World War I game, and this is about one specific battle therein. And I believe there's a number of titles that are planned for this series, which I'm also very interested in. It means there's some good staying power, and they're investing something into this, which I appreciate. So it's designed by Tim Gale, and it's a two-player hex encounter wargame. But it is not massive, and I'm hoping that that's, you know, they say it's kind of medium complexity. You can play it solo, but the fact that it's not some huge, massive war game that I swear some of these World War I games, you know, it can take a long time to play this, but it's not like a horrendously large, sprawling thing, which, so I don't know, I feel like a lot of games can get that way very easily. So I'm very interested to try this out. So let's crack it open and see what we've got in here. And I'm just loving these new Legion titles. As that company grows and develops, their production values starting to really ramp up significantly. So we've got Rules of Play, which is nice, very clear color semi-gloss. We've got all the different markers and counters in here. Everything's 2 columns. Everything looks like it's indexed well. So those are the rules. Rules. Is it all rules? Looks like it. So I would. Yes, all right. So it's 30 pages of rules, basically. That is not a small amount of rules. 30 pages of rules. Hopefully, with this being a series, though, a lot of familiarity is going to come across from this title to the next. So then we've got a playbook. And this will have in it, so it's a lot of historical notes and all that kind of stuff. So this is, you know, learning, reading, designer's notes. Do we have in here? Okay. Victory conditions. Here's what, okay. Extended example of play as well. Ooh, nice bibliography there as well. We like that. Well, very detailed examples of play, it looks like, as well. And okay, this is still part of that, right? Yeah, okay. Example of play. Oh, some play tips at the end, that's nice as well. But for both the German and the Entente side. So did we have scenarios? I don't know if I saw any of those. Hopefully there are, so that you can kind of maybe break it up. You don't have to play. So there's some nice learning scenarios. I don't see those offhand, but that could just be me being blind. So we will see about that. But Legion provides you a bag of bags with a little blue D6 in it as well. And then there is a lot of cardboard and paper in here. So, we got some play aids here. We got single-sided terrain effects chart. We have, let's see, we got any duplicates here? Okay, we do have a couple. Here we've got victory point determination, first turn surprise, stacking. So this is rules references. Hopefully we can read that 30-page rules and then basically play off of these, which would be quite nice. So these are some of the more detailed little charts and rules there of what you can and can't do. We have a couple of identical play aids. This one's going to be for each player, for your bombardments, resolutions and DRMs. These are dual-sided, which have assaults on them as well. This is all your combat charts, basically. So each player is going to have one of those, and then we have a couple other plays here. So overall sequence of play, PM turns and night turns. So you can, and I think that's fairly reasonable with how detailed these are. Read the rules once, probably can play off the play. It's pretty well. And then we've got supply lines, retreat directions, all that kind of stuff, and then a more detailed breakdown of combat procedures. So I really like games that do this, where you can, it's kind of that funnel, right? Here's my big fat rules with all the details in it. And we're going to read that, and then we're going to cut it down to a few charts, and then once we've played that, at some point you won't need to reference as many of these as you do, So you'll eventually be able to wean yourself off of the play aids as well. So I do like games that do that. I don't know. That's a helpful way that I learn games. I know that might not be for everyone, but that's how I learn. So we've got 2 sheets of counters. This one's more of your admin markers on here. So we've got lots of numbers there, which presumably some form of points. Okay. Then we have, well, I'm not going to... Preparation markers, retreat markers. And these are Legion prints on white core most of the time, but it's actually a pretty thick white core counter. So these punch and pull out pretty easily. I'll be clipping those, but again, their counters have come by in leaps and bounds. And I'm going to show you this one. This is the units on it. So we got our so there's like French, Americans, British, and then there's all the German ones down here. But I don't know. When I look at these counters, I just really like the color palette that they use, the art style that they use. I feel like in Wargames, some of the art direction that goes on is just very function over form. It's like, yes, this works, but they put in, like, there's shading, there's lighting on the helmets, there's some detail. It looks more visually interesting than some of the other counters out there in the world. And I just really appreciate them going the extra mile to do that. You know, it's an extra few layers when you're doing your digital illustrations. But, I don't know, it's a big payoff. Playing with a lot of Legion Wargames is really nice. The components are fun to play around with. So let's look at the map. That's what we talked about with it being a small map. So this is... Alright, let's get this right. 17... Alright. So this is not... this is a little bit smaller than the average Wargame map. Normally it's like 22 by 34. This is... what? 22 by 25-ish? Give or take? It's something like that. And as such, it's, you know, normally you get these extra panels here. So the map itself is fairly small. If you look at the actual units, right, there's all those admin markers, but it's really, these are the actual units. It's really half a sheet of counters of actual units. There'll be a lot of other markers for fortifications and all that kind of stuff. But hopefully, as such, it's not... You know, I'm not getting reams and reams of counters, and that's the thing that I think I'm interested in. This map, everything seems to be very clear on it. The hex numbers are quite large. There's no mistaking where you are. Looks like the terrain is very clear as well, and there's turn track with your reinforcement schedule on here as well. But that's the game. I know Legion's very excited to have put this out, especially as an introduction to the series that they're hoping to put more into. We're going to play this during our Guns of August World War I event that we're going to do, where we're going to play World War I games throughout the whole of August. This is going to be right up there with some of the first ones that we get to. So, appreciate you guys tuning in. This is Decisive Victory 1918. This is Soissons. And appreciate you guys tuning in. I've been Alexander from theplayersaid.com.